Hey there, and welcome back to MTG Kitchen. You know, one of my favorite things about Magic and cooking is how I'm always learning. Even though last weekend I was able to get a 3rd, 4th place finish in a Star City Games Invitational Qualifier with Modern Pyromancer, last night at a more casual event I got my butt kicked by a deck that I didn't really understand. I'm always learning. I'm also always looking for things that I can prepare ahead of time that I can spice up any snack or meal with. So today we're going to talk about a deck I'm going to call Guac and Hummas. That's Modern's Counters Company. For today's hummus, we're going to need 2 cups of chickpeas. Whoa! Half a cup tahini. Quarter cup of olive oil. 2 cloves of garlic.
Bam! Biff.
And a pinch of salt and pepper. First off, you're going to want to drain away this chickpea juice, or aquafaba. If you're interested in vegan food, aquafaba is a great ingredient for lots of recipes, and I'll leave some links in the description below. You're going to want to throw all your ingredients in a food processor.
Looking delicious.
This stuff looks so good, I gotta have some right out of the mixer. Come on. Alright, now let's talk guacamole. We're gonna need 2 ripe avocados. Maybe a little too ripe. Half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Pepper. Some fresh lime juice. Some cilantro. And just because I love it, we're gonna throw in another 2 cloves of finely chopped garlic. You're gonna wanna cut to the pit, flick that pit out of there. All in one. Scoop out your avocado. Now it's time for the fun part, mashing up your guac. I like to use a fork because I don't like it to be too smooth. And there you go, that's what you're looking for right there. Look at that. Oh, beautiful green color. Alrighty, now let's talk about Counters Company. Counters Company is a creature-based combo deck that also can win the game through just beating down and grinding out your opponent with card advantage. The combo cards in this deck are Vizier of Remedies and Devoted Druid. Vizier of Remedies reads, if one or more -1/-1 counters would be put on a creature you control, put that many -1/-1 counters. Devoted Druid taps for green mana, and you can put a -1/-1 counter on it voluntarily to untap it. These 2 creatures together give you infinite mana. The other combo with the Vizier is Kitchen Finks and the Viscera Seer. Kitchen Finks has Persist, which brings it back into play if it dies with a -1/-1 counter. The next time it dies, because the game checks that the -1/-1 counter is there, it will then stay dead. But Vizier removes that counter, thus your Kitchen Finks can die over and over. And if you have a way to sacrifice it, like this Viscera Seer, well, you can just gain infinite life right there. The most powerful card in this deck is Collected Company. It's also playing 4 copies of Chord of Calling. This allows you to use part of your deck like a toolbox of creatures. You can go fetch one out at instant speed depending on what situation you're in. So let's run down some numbers. 3 copies of Vizier of Remedies and 4 copies of Devoted Druid. We've got 4 copies of Collected Company and 4 copies of Chord of Calling. Now this deck wants to accelerate in the early game, so we're also going to have 4 copies of Birds of Paradise and 2 copies of Noble Hierarch. We've also got 4 copies of Kitchen Finks for the aforementioned combo. Next up, we've got 2 copies of Duskwatch Recruiter. Duskwatch Recruiter allows you with infinite mana to grab all the creatures out of your deck into your hand and play any number of them. We've also got 3 copies of Eternal Witness. Eternal Witness is fantastic to flip off of a Collected Company in that she can immediately return the Collected Company to your hand. Now let's talk about one-ups, kind of silver bullets here. We got 1 copy of Viscera Seer, that's to enable our infinite life combo. We've got 1 copy of Walking Ballista. When you've got infinite mana, this is an instant kill. 1 copy of Kasali Pride Mage. Kasali Pride Mage, very useful with the naturalized sacrifice effect. And if you've got Eternal Witnesses, you can regrow this a couple times if you need. 1 copy of Scavenging Ooze, which is excellent against any graveyard-based deck. 1 copy of Selfless Spirit, You can fetch that out as an instant speed response to a Wrath effect and protect your entire board by making it indestructible. 1 copy of Fiend Hunter, that's a little bit of creature removal for you. 1 copy of Roness the Indomitable. When you've got any creatures that can attack and you've got your infinite mana, you can pump them to infinite power with Trample. That's an easy kill. And 1 copy of Tireless Tracker. It's probably in here for first game against control decks, where you might want a little more card advantage from dropping lands and popping clues. Talking lands, the most exciting one is Gavany Township. Gavany Township has an ability that is 2 green-white tap. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. 2 forests, 1 Godless Shrine, 3 Horizon Canopy, 1 Marsh Flats, 2 Overgrown Tomb, 1 Plains, 2 Temple Garden, 4 Verdant Catacombs, and 4 Windswept Heaths. With your main deck being a creature toolbox, it only seems appropriate that on your sideboard you got a couple of 1-ofs as creatures that you can bring in for certain matchups. We're going to start that off with 1 Burton Forge Tender, 1 Kataki War's Wage, 3 Tide Hollow Sculler. This isn't a silver bullet, but it's excellent when you need to strip combo pieces out of a hand. 2 Voice of Resurgence, 1 Eidolon of Rhetoric, 1 Orzhov Pontiff, 1 Reclamation Sage. Now we've got some non-creatures. We've got Worship, 1 copy, 2 Path to Exile, and 2 Abrupt Decay. My opponent last night was playing at least 1 copy of Core Firewalker off the sideboard, which was a real pain for me. And there's lots of great creature options in Modern that you can use as different silver bullets. I'm going to leave a link here for the deck list that I used for this video. The winner of the SCGIQ in Bernardsville. Countess Company is a resilient Abzan deck, that's green, white, and black, which has a combo inside as well as going wide to beat down. You can recover in lots of situations by top decking a Court of Calling or an Eternal Witness or a Collected Company. You got a couple of good black tools in a green-white creature-based deck. Modern is such a wonderfully diverse format that there's like 30 viable archetypes, and it's tough to know them all, and you've got to know how your deck matches up against their deck. You got to know how your deck matches up against their deck. You got to know your deck inside and out, and as much as possible, know their deck inside and out. You can always check out great places like the Modern subreddit on reddit.com. And many of these Modern decks have their own dedicated subreddits, some with more activity than others. You can also usually find a Facebook group for the same. Diving into these groups a little bit will really help you get inside some of the other decks. And who knows, maybe you're going to find one that you really enjoy playing. So that's it for MTG Kitchen today. I hope you've enjoyed our dip into another Modern deck, and our dip into making some dips and spreads. Now if you'll excuse me and my coffee got some Marduk Pyromancer to go keep playtesting. Aquafaba, aquafaba, aquatic flavor, also query.